When my health dramatically declined in 2009, I started developing a unique set of symptoms anytime my body became stressed. I would experience severe muscle pain, muscle cramps, chest pain, shortness of breath, headaches, sweating, confusion, slurred speech, and sometimes I would completely lose the ability to speak. Intense fatigue, tremors, and dizziness. I would have the urge to eat something sweet. I would eat a piece of fruit and then lie down. While lying down, moving even a finger became a herculean task. After several hours passed, I could again move, but with great difficulty. It would often take several days to a week to recover from the event. I was always told these episodes were from postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. With this condition, my heart races when I stand up. I was told I was just experiencing the effects of having a high heart rate. However, I was always suspicious there was something else going on. There is nothing which is more stressful for me than going to a doctor's appointment. The effort of packing up all my medical equipment, traveling to the appointment, and then having to lug all my medical equipment into the doctor's office makes me quite tired. Add to that waiting and the stress which medical appointments create. I am usually a sorry mess by the time I see the doctor. Many times, when the doctor enters the exam room, my hands and arms are shaking uncontrollably and I'm having muscle spasms. My breathing is ragged and it is hard to speak because I'm often gasping for air. My head will sometimes bob up and down. My legs often join my hands and arms and start shaking and having involuntary movements. I am sweating profusely. My brain is full of fog. It is hard to string words and thoughts together to create coherent sentences. When a doctor sees these episodes, I am told it is just anxiety. I need to relax and take some deep breaths. The physician will tell me there is nothing to fear. I want to protest. These symptoms are not anxiety. But I am too exhausted to explain these episodes happen every time I do any sort of strenuous activity. At the end of March, I was started on TPN. I was very sick when I first began the TPN, but over time, as my body gained strength, I started feeling pretty good. I noticed my health crashes would still happen, but to a much lesser degree. I would have only minor tremors, a manageable headache, and I never had dramatic or violent symptoms. As time passed, it was suggested my TPN should be run over fewer hours. I started disconnecting my TPN during the day. When I went to a medical appointment, bam, my health did a hard crash. I decided to connect up my TPN. In an hour, my health had improved. I was not back to my baseline health, but I was able to sit up and endure the car ride home. The following week, I had an appointment to have my blood work drawn. On the day of the appointment, my body was dragging. My muscles were tight. My right leg was screaming in pain. I pushed through the symptoms. I had the blood work drawn and then had a dramatic health crash. I started shaking, could not think straight, was dizzy, had horrible chest pain, and was gasping for breath. I really wanted to hook up my TPN, but my brain was very confused and disoriented. I could not figure out how to connect up my TPN. Furthermore, my hands were uncoordinated and shaking. I did not want to risk dropping my IV lines in the car and getting them full of bacteria. Instead, I ate an apple and waited an hour for my symptoms to calm down. When I had regained a little bit of my health, I hooked back up to the TPN. In 2 hours, I was feeling better. I still had bad muscle pain, tremors, and cramps, but at least I could sit up and communicate. I rested for the remainder of the day. The next day, my blood work was resulted. I checked my labs and was flabbergasted. My blood sugar was 44. 44 is very low. Normal blood sugar should be above 70, but mine was 44. The following week, I also had to have blood work done. I was disconnected from my TPN and was having only minor symptoms when my blood work was done. When the blood work was resulted, my blood sugar was 56. After all these years, I began thinking we may have an answer to my dramatic health crashes. These may be hypoglycemic episodes. Due to having mitochondrial disease, my body is not able to compensate when it undergoes stress. My blood sugar drops, and then I become very sick as my body struggles to access sugar to create energy. Even though I had this hypothesis, I was pretty sure no one would believe my blood sugar may be causing my symptoms. Every time I have blood work done for my TPN, I receive a phone call from my TPN nurse. She reviews my blood work and tells me any recommendations she has. The first time my blood sugar is low, the nurse does not say anything about it. The second time it is low, she is very concerned. My nurse tells me she is going to request I get a blood glucose monitor to check my blood sugars. A few weeks pass, and my nurse does not do anything else for my blood sugar issues. When I have future blood work done, I am usually running my TPN. My blood sugar is in the 70s. Recently, I disconnected to have my blood work done. My blood work showed my blood sugar was 60. The next day, my nurse called and was very concerned my blood sugar had dropped again. She asked me if I had any symptoms with the low blood sugar. I explained I did. She told me she was going to order dextrose in normal saline. I was to infuse this if I felt my blood sugar was low. The dextrose should help stabilize my blood sugar and prevent or lessen the severity of my symptoms. I was stunned. After all these years, we finally have answers to my dramatic health crashes. It is not anxiety or my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It is hypoglycemia. Our health is so challenging and often hard to figure out. I may not be able to completely prevent or avoid these symptoms, but to know what is causing them is a huge victory. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.